A massive hunt underway right now for a female suspect, possible accomplices as well in the Paris terror attack. We're back with the Republican Congressman Mac Thornberry of Texas. He's the new chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. What can you tell us about this woman, Hayat Boumediene? Because there's a lot of sense now from what we're hearing. She's not just a girlfriend. She was very, very directly involved in these terror operations.
Yeah, as we get more information about her, we are learning more about her role, particularly in goading the others on. I think what's key is that these 3 or 4 people are just the tip of the iceberg, because thousands of people from Western Europe and even some from the United States have gone into Iraq, Syria, some to Yemen, as we know, for training, and now they come back. And all of those with Western European passports, of course, can come to the United States without a visa. So that's part of the reason I think so many people are so concerned that we may just be seeing the first of these folks who have gone to those safe havens, trained, and are now coming to launch their attacks against us.
Because in France, they're saying that these terror cells have been activated, some sleeper cells, and that there are accomplices of these 3 terrorists who were killed as part of the rescue operations. There are accomplices at large right now. Is that what you're hearing?
Well, I'm sure the French are trying to scramble to get back on top of this situation. But unfortunately, Wolf, I think we, the West, know less today about terrorists and what they're planning than we did just a few years ago, because there have been so many leaks, books, movies, and the like. The terrorists have learned what we do and how we do it, and in addition to that, we've tied our own hands for some crucial intelligence collection. So the point is, we have less information about these folks, where they've gone, what they plan, than we did a few years ago. That's part of the reason I think the danger is higher today than it's been before.
The Associated Press is reporting from France, quoting 2 French police officials speaking on condition of anonymity. They're saying that French police now believe as many as 6 terrorist suspects. This report suspects remain on the loose right now. 6 terrorist suspects apparently connected to this terror plot against the magazine, against that Jewish kosher supermarket. Have you heard anything along those lines, that 6 accomplices may be at large someplace right now?
No, I don't know the numbers. I think, again, what's clear is that hundreds, if not thousands of people from France, thousands from Western Europe and the United States have gone to be trained, and then many of them have come back to Western Europe, some even to the United States, to launch attacks. That's part of the problem. The way to stop attacks is not to carry signs and have demonstrations. It's through intelligence, law enforcement, and strong military action. And that's going to be the key going forward to deal with this situation or any situation we may have here at home.
I guess the question is, in connection with this terror plot that developed in Paris over the past few days, we know there's one person, this woman, Hayat Boumediene, who may be in Syria with ISIS right now, but are there any others, at least as far as we know, that were involved in this plot at large?
Well, I think the authorities in France and elsewhere are still scrambling to try to figure out who was involved in this plot, and are there other plots? Because as your report indicated, there are some information that there may be other plots that would be separate. And again, remember, the terrorists are an adaptable group. They learn from their mistakes, they change, and they look for how to attack us where we are weak. And these sort of targets, the grocery store and a newspaper, for example, are examples of those softer targets that they have gone after.
Has the U.S. concluded yet whether this was an ISIS operation or an AQAP operation, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula?
I think we're still gathering information. We know from reports that 2 of these guys have traveled to Yemen. Then there's the report of this lady going back to Iraq and Syria. Again, part of what concerns so many people is that you get Al-Qaeda and ISIS in competition with each other, and maybe in some places even collaborating. And so that's part of the reason I think the danger is going up.
One final question, Mr. Chairman. These terrorists, they had Kalashnikov assault rifles, they had ammunition, they had Molotov cocktails, a grenade, rocket launchers. They had a lot of weapons over there. In France, it's pretty hard to get this kind of weaponry. Where do they get this kind of stuff?
Well, they obviously buy it on the black market. They sneak it in. They don't have these weapons legally. They get them illegally. And if you're going to go kill a bunch of people, you don't mind breaking the law to get a bunch of weapons illegally. It is part of this trend, I'm afraid, we are beginning to see, where they may still go after airplanes and some of their traditional targets of the past, but they are looking for these softer targets with grenades, with rifles and so forth to kill a bunch of people. They still get the media effect. And remember, this is in substantial measure an ideological struggle where they're trying to instill fear in our society. And whether you shoot people or blowing up, it contributes to that goal.
Congressman Thornberry, thanks very much for joining us. We'll stay in close touch with you. Congressman Thornberry's the new chairman of the House Armed Services Committee.
Thanks.